Hi, everyone, and welcome to the NASCAR America Debrief. Marty Snyder, Kyle Petty, Nate Ryan joining you here. We couldn't get into everything we want to talk about in the show. It's a busy day with
Yes, it was a busy day.
the comments
Very
that
busy
Kyle Larson made. So I want to get your overall thoughts on Kyle Larson clearly backing up after his comments yesterday on Splash and Go with you and Rick Allen.
I think we should start with the call we just had from Patrick to end NASCAR America about that. I think this is kind of at the crux of this, that there needs to be a way for us to talk about rule bending and rule breaking in a way that doesn't make everybody's, just antenna go up whenever the word cheating is mentioned. Because to me, like the point that Kyle Larson was making was insightful, was interesting. Yeah. It was just the fact that he used that third rail word of cheating that sort of like made everybody flip out, I think, right? I mean, what he's talking about is not unusual. Teams do work in the gray areas, and they might start off the season here and then move here, right?
Especially with a new rules package.
Right.
Especially with a new rules package. And basically Kyle was saying, I believe, Kyle was saying, okay, we've got this package. Everybody understands it. Everybody's going to play nice. Everybody's going to play in the rules. But at some point in time, people are going to start moving and people are going to start pushing those boundaries. He used, as you say, a word with negative connotations for everybody that hears it. Except people inside the sport a lot of times, but he just totally went a different direction. So it's the verbiage more so. I think what
bothers you is that he was in essence censored.
I don't like him getting censored. I mean, use the word. I don't care. I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with it. I grew up with it, so I'm okay with it, man.
All right. Well, we're going to be taking your phone calls here on NASCAR America Debrief. Also taking your comments on our YouTube, but we're going to start with a phone call. Let's go to Tim. Tim, you're welcome to NASCAR America Debrief.
Hey, guys, thank you. Listen, I got some radical changes. You're going to say, no, it can be done. I've been watching NASCAR since the 60s in Ocala, Florida. I used to go over to Daytona and check them out. I've been up here in North Carolina now, and I've really been into NASCAR. But I'm tired of watching only a certain number of teams always running up front. They're always winning. Okay? Remember the old IROC series?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. It's going to take some changes. You got X amount of number of races for the year. You got X amount of number of cars, manufacturers. Divide that in there. Everybody gets 10 races. Everybody gets 5 races or whatever it is. Everybody out there drives the same car. You set it up like you want to set it up according to certain specifications, things that you can change. Okay, you set it up like that. So everybody's driving the same car for the first 5 races or however NASCAR decides to delegate that out through the season. That way, nobody can cheat like crazy, and you got these guys that ride around in circles in the back of the track. They got a chance to run good. I'm tired of everybody winning who always wins.
Okay, we got it, Tim. It's
got
a revolutionary idea.
Got your point.
What do you think?
First, parity stinks. Okay, number one. And I know you bring up the IROC series, and that's a great series that no longer exists because nobody cares about it, because parity stinks. Okay? The point is, in any sport, someone has to rise above the rest and set a bar for them. Whether that was Dale Earnhardt Sr., whether that was Richard Petty, whether that was Holman and Moody, whether that's Hendrick Motorsports, somebody has to set that bar. In parity, you can't have that. We have always... Wait a minute. This is my time now, bud. My time, okay? I got the button here. All right, here's the thing. There has always been the same guys winning the races. How do you think Richard Petty won 200? Pearson won 100 and some. Bobby and Cale and all those guys won 80-some races. Same guys win races all the time. You know why? Because they're the best damn drivers. That's why they win races. Okay, give me your answer, bud. Give it.
I got a better answer for that.
Okay, give me your answer.
You know why they run up front? Because they got the most money and the best R&D. That's why they run up front.
So now we're going to dumb down the sport and make everybody run at the back of the pack with those teams that run. We're not dumbing down anything, dude. Okay? We're not dumbing it down. I appreciate what you're saying. I do. And I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, this is a sport. This is competition. Everybody doesn't get a participation ribbon. You get a trophy because you work the hardest, you do the best, and you become the best, and you raise the bar. Without raising the bar, we don't have a Michael Jordan. We don't have a Tiger Woods. We don't have people in other sports that change the sport. We don't have a Dale Earnhardt Sr., a Jeff Gordon, a Jimmy Johnson, without people pushing that envelope. And if you want to dumb it down to IROC, where everybody does the same thing, then let me tell you something. Buy a slot car track, put it in your basement, spend some time there. Thanks.
I can't tell how you feel, Kyle.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about
I'm
it.
really
Sorry.
kind of confused here.
Participation ribbons, I know. Again,
Yeah.
a huge,
Your favorite
huge
thing.
plus for
Hate
you.
it.
You love that.
hate
Marty,
that.
anything to add on Tim's phone call?
Sorry, Tim.
I don't.
Sorry,
I mean,
Tim.
because Kyle's right. You've got to have teams that are better than others.
I went off a little bit there, Tim. I apologize.
How it does.
All right,
Apologize.
let's go to YouTube and take a comment. Just toning it down just a little bit. Jen Simpson wants to know, going back to the new package, do you guys think we will see drafting at Las Vegas? Obviously, we didn't really see it at Atlanta. You had the tire wear, you had the separation. Do you think we'll see more of that at Vegas?
100%. You think so?
I do too. I think, we have seen the effects of drafting at a Michigan.
Yep.
Even with the package that we had before. With this package, we saw the effects of drafting at Charlotte. I go back to the modified race that they run at New Hampshire when they run the place.
Yeah.
That's all that's about,
Right,
man.
yeah.
Straight up drafting. That's a great modified
Fantastic race.
at New Hampshire. So I'm hoping that we see the effects and that we see these guys push, rub, push somebody through, and that becomes a part of what this package is on a 1.5 mile racetrack, because it'll change the way we view the 1.5 mile racetracks.
Everyone I talked to said that once the leader kind of gets out front, they can stay out front. Everybody behind, it's a hornet's nest. And so to me, restarts are going to be massive. We heard a few guys mention that this weekend, that they realized in the halfway there package in Atlanta, for the best way to call it, that restarts are going to be huge. Restarts are going to be massive this weekend in Las Vegas. It's going to be a dogfight on those restarts.
Definitely a lot to be watching here Sunday in Las Vegas. Let's go back to the phones here on NASCAR America Debrief, and we'll talk to Tom. Tom, you're up.
Yes, sir. Nice talking to you guys.
Nice talking to you.
Okay. Do you think there will ever come a time, like when I watched the Daytona 5 Demolition Derby, that's what I called it, that there will be rules in place for bad driving, obvious inability to control their car?
All right. So you're referring, Tom,
to
to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, all those guys, I think.
Yeah.
But
You could say made some errors.
You can't tell intent, though, is a problem.
Yeah. So, Kyle, any thoughts on that? Do you think we need to penalize bad driving?
No, you can't. Listen, you can't. It's a mistake. I mean, Clint Boyer, when he turned back in, he just wasn't clear. He thought he was clear. If he had known he was a foot short, he wouldn't have turned back in. That's how simple it is. When you look at some of these things, when you get aggressive, you get in a hurry, you make mistakes. We see people, that's what a speeding penalty on pit road is. Right. You're aggressive, you're trying to push it, and you get that. So no, I do think we always, and NASCAR has, for aggressive driving and overly aggressive and blatant activities, they step in. But I don't think we're ever going to see a time when somebody says, no, we're going to park.
And it's hard to judge it by TV, right? Because you and I were having a text conversation when Stenhouse, wrecked when he got on the new tires at the end of the race, and we thought Harvick was going to be mad. Kevin got out of the car and said that wasn't Stenhouse's fault. So you can see one thing from television and something. What actually happened on the track can be completely different than what we thought until we talk to the drivers and get their perspective.
Harvick essentially said Larson was to blame for Stenhouse because he put the block on that caused Stenhouse to wreck. All right, we appreciate that call very much, Tom. Let's go to YouTube for a comment. The Will to Grow, that's the account name, wants to know, I don't know what it means.
Good account name.
Yeah, good account name. Do you think Brad Keselowski's comments about Kyle Larson being the first driver he would hire if he started a Cup team are a prelude of things to come? I know you love conspiracy theories. I'm serving one up for you.
Oh, yes. Here's the conspiracy theory. Brad K is going to start a team, hire Kyle Larson, and then bench him, and he'll be out of the sport. That's how you get rid of the competition. That's my view from the grassy knoll. No, but I think that's another driver. I do think this, and we've seen drivers in the past acknowledge different drivers. That's a huge ego boost for a Kyle Larson to say, Brad K thinks I'm a guy. You know, whether when Dale Jr. put Brad K in a truck, that's a huge ego boost to say, hey, he picked me out. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure it's a prelude to things to come. Brad's been in the business before with a truck and then kind of went away. All his money's into, what is that thing?
3D printing.
3D printing.
Yeah.
3D
Way of the
printing.
future.
So, but wait a minute.
That's it.
What if you're Joey Logano or you're Ryan Blaney?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Your teammate basically said, I'd rather have that guy than you
The defending series champion. No, maybe not him.
Yeah, that's
that guy
okay.
over there.
And I don't think that's what Brad was saying.
No, that's
we're
not.
right.
But
We're making
yeah.
light
But at
of
the
it.
same time, you know, and I don't think Brad would look at it that way, or Blaney would look at it that way. But I mean, obviously, he just thinks he's got a lot of talent.
And there's a lot that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for young talent you can build around and make things happen.
All right. Let's go back to the phones here, NASCAR America Debrief, and go to AJ. AJ, you're on our program.
Yes, hi.
You're beeping.
I agree with Kyle with what he's saying about Larson and the cheating. The thing is that I feel like if even though he's in affiliation with Hendrick, why does he care about what Hendrick's doing? You're running at Ganassi. It's your team. Why care what Hendrick's doing?
Why does he care what Hendrick is doing? Well, the question was posed, who's the best Chevrolet team?
Yeah.
And Kyle chose to answer it and saying, well, right now you might think we are, but I think Hendrick is going to be strong soon, and here's why.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue, a great point. I think we have to put the comment in the context of what the interview and what they were talking about and the whole question, not just the soundbite. This is what they're doing. And but I think Kyle believes that. Kyle believes that, Hendrick, when you look at the Hendrick organization and what they are, what they've been, what they can be, what they can become, especially with all these young drivers, I think you've got to be fearful of every move they make. Right. And when you're that close to them and you're running their engines, and now you're going to be that close, you're that close compared to them, you got to give yourself a little buffer too and say, well, they're doing this, but they might do this later on. Right. They're going to get farther away from it.
And the question's warranted too because they were outrun not only by Ganassi, but they were outrun by JTG as well.
JTG was
two
great.
teams that they helped.
JTG's
been fantastic to start the season,
have.
but they were outrun by both of those teams by a good bit on Sunday at Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really interesting question. Is JTG Doherty the number 2 Chevrolet team right now behind Ganassi? I mean, you could.
That's a great question.
Make that case.
Yeah.
Could be, even. I mean, they had both of them in the top 10. I mean, that you could make the case even they could be number 1. You never know.
Point.
So
let's go back to YouTube. Gannon 136 wants to know 2 weekends in a row, Daytona, Atlanta, with some pit road crashes. Will Vegas prove this is an ongoing trend? Will there be more pit road crashes this weekend, or do you think we'll taper off as guys are just maybe shaking off rust?
You know what? Well, I will say I expected at Daytona because you come off turn 4 so hard, and you've got to get
cool break,
and they talk to each other and they pit in packs.
Yep.
They pit in packs. I don't expect it at Atlanta. I don't expect it at Vegas. This was a freak deal. I think what happened at Atlanta was just a fluke deal. Ryan looking down, trying to see where he was at. A car coming in late. A car too far out in the middle of the road. Not making a move, making his move late.
came from the third lane.
Yeah, it came from the third lane, making a move late. There were so many factors that made that a perfect storm. So no, I think speeding penalties and things like that will continue to be an issue. Men over the wall too quick. We're going to work the bugs out of that, but I don't think we'll see crashes.
My only thought about that is that I mentioned the word dogfight, and any track position you can get is going to be critical.
Yeah.
So I think you'll within the rules and the tolerance that you get,
you'll
be as aggressive as you can be.
But will we see the crashes at Vegas if the draft is that big a thing?
Them coming to pit road together.
Yeah. Will we see the crashes on pit road or slowing down coming through 3 and 4?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wonder if teams will back up the buffer road speeds.
That's a hard pit road to get onto.
Yes,
anyway,
it is. That's what I'm saying.
Of turn 4.
So it's going to be way back around here.
Right.
Because
that'll be crazy.
Somebody wrecked there last year coming on to pit road under green. Somebody wrecked there last year. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. No,
Let's go back to the phones on NASCAR America Debrief. Bill, you're on the program. Hello, Bill.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Brad Keselowski because I'm a veteran. What he does for veterans. But do you think NASCAR should let a driver drive when he's got his eyes taped open and pumped up with medication?
Do I think they should? Yeah, why not? I mean, he had the flu. Listen, you guys are talking like he woke up out of a coma and came back from a near-death experience. He had the flu, okay? When we go back to Ricky Rudd taping his eyes open, when we go back to Harry Gant, with so many broke ribs he could hardly breathe. When we go back to my dad with a broke neck driving, and you go back to things like that, that's a little iffy, but that's the way the sport was. That's the way those guys did. Now, we have seen guys like Denny Hamlin, who had back spasms, who sat out.
Right.
He made that call. He made that call.
Right.
He said, I'm not. He had something in his eye No.
Fontana.
I think it was tears in his eye. No, never mind. That's a joke, too. Okay, he had something in his eye. I'm sorry. I just had to go there. So he had something.
It was actually a piece of metal.
Yeah. But we've seen drivers make that call. And what we've seen is NASCAR and the sport has allowed the drivers to make that call on things like that. Concussions, we move to a whole different level.
Right.
And broken bones, we move to a whole different level now.
Keselowski has some strong opinions on that. What was interesting to me about Atlanta was Keselowski has been pretty forthright about he doesn't want doctors saying if you have a concussion, you're sitting out. Like he's kind of said, I want to be determinant of my fate here.
Yeah.
So.
And he also said he'd put Kyle Larson in a car, so we know he's crazy. So let's move
Kyle's point, it's never going to be as bad as your dad when he broke his neck. They had to
it's never going to be that bad again. But listen, doctors should step in because drivers
for much further.
Yeah, drivers are not going to protect themselves. You've got to protect the driver from himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's what you want to do. And seeing somebody else in your car is worse than being sick or worse than a wreck.
Right. Let's take one more call here on NASCAR America Debrief. Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Close enough.
Sorry, I got your name wrong.
Defiance, Ohio, home of
Sam Hornish.
Sam Hornish. Very good.
I want to thank you guys for taking my call.
Thanks, Kevin.
I have a question for Kyle. If he was to come out of retirement, what team would he go for?
If I came out of retirement, what team would I drive for?
That's actually a really good question.
Brad Keselowski.
Oh, gosh, come on.
No.
Is there someone you would have loved to have driven for? Like,
you know what?
Roger Penske or anyone?
Do I look like a Penske driver? Let's
no,
be honest.
that's my point.
That's the point.
That's my point, is that you don't look like a Penske driver.
My problem is I don't believe, you know what? I think, honestly, I would have liked to have driven for Rick in the early years.
Okay.
At the time Richmond was there, the time Benny was there, you know, and those when that was just getting started because they were moving the needle big time. You think they moved the needle now? They were moving the needle big time. Mm-hmm. I think everybody else that's come in has modeled their teams off of that. So it's a variation of. I think Gibbs is a variation of what Hendrick is. I think a lot of but Hendrick moved that bar. So to be a part of moving that bar, for me, that would have been cool.
Right. Certainly would have been interesting to see you driving for Roger Penske.
That would have been fun.
Thank you so much again for everybody who called in today, had YouTube comments. If you didn't get through this week, we can certainly get you next week here on NASCAR America Debrief or on Motor Mouths on Wednesdays, 5 p.m. NBCSN. And I believe Kyle Petty is going to close things out with a song.
It's a theme song.
We have a theme song.
It's a theme song based on all the activity of this week. So
which he just wrote.
Today I wrote this song. I wrote this song today.
On 5 strings.
On 5, I broke a string on my guitar.
Can we take your tuner off now? Or?
No. We got this is part of the thing. So, and I've never done this song all the way through because we were just messing with it. So this is a song in honor of Walk Back Wednesday, okay? Because last week, Michael McDowell walked his comments back. This week, Kyle Larson's walking, and it's to the tune of Walking the Halls Over You, Walking the Floors Over You by Hank Sr., and it goes like this. Said I didn't help you win the race. Wait a minute. Walking the floor. I got to get the tune right. Okay, I'm just going to play
Start over.
This is YouTube. You can do
Said I didn't help you win. Didn't help you win the race. Cause those people, they don't know my name, name my place. But Monday morning, my phone's ringing, I guess that I was wrong. By Wednesday on the TV, I was singing a different song. And now I'm walking back what I said to you. My boss has told me that's what I had to do. I can't say what I want to say like I used to. So I'm walking back what I said to you. That's in honor of Michael McDowell right there, people. I said a team was cheating that I race against. That's when I got a call from the company president. He said, you know the team builds the engines that you race. Better apologize unless you want to finish in last place. And now I'm walking back what I said to you. Cause my boss has told me that's what I should do. I can't say what I want to say like I used to. So I'm walking back what I said to you. That one's in honor of Kyle Larson. Okay?
In case you missed that.
No, I'm walking back what I said to you. My bosses told me that's what I had to do. And I can't say what I want to say like I used to. So I'm walking back what I said to you. I apologize to all you NASCAR fans out there. I'm so sorry for everything I ever said. I'm walking it back on Wednesday. Have a good one, people.
Lord.
See you. We're going to play you out.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
See y'all later. The course again.
That's it.
Okay,
That's good about it.